What happened last night? A lot of things happened last night. A lot of people came out to express themselves, express their beliefs. We have a First Amendment in this country. We have a First Amendment that protects our natural right. And for whatever reason, there seems to be this opposition that thinks we can't do that. And they have been attacking us for years, really for decades in the grand scheme, but very heavily in Portland, especially for the last 95 days. Last night, it escalated to the point that they executed my partner. They hunted him down. They hunted us down. They recognized our Patriot Prayer hats. For anybody who doesn't know Patriot Prayer, Joey Gibson, the Citizens Advocate, he's a good man. We support him. He's a Christian and conservative. So they identified our hats. We got a couple of them right here. We got a couple of them right here. Pull it out. Pull it out. And
is that what they said?
That's what they said. We turned around. It didn't even register that somebody was pointing a gun at us until the shots went off and he took off running.
The shooter took off running?
The shooter took off running. And, it takes a second for you to process everything that happened. Did he just shoot at me? Okay. I'm okay. Turn over, and Jay's dead. Because he believes something different than them. Jay's not a racist, he's not a xenophobe or whatever label, he's not an ist or an ism. He's an independent man. And he's a good man. And he didn't do anything to earn a bullet in the chest.
If you could ask anything right now of Donald Trump, what would it be?
Send troops. Send troops. Arrest these. Portland is as corrupt as any place you've ever seen, any place you've ever heard about in the movies. I have a friend sitting right behind me here who's is being charged currently with a felony riot while the DA is letting all these actual rioters out on the street. He was just out there waving an American flag. It's been charges pending for what, 2 years? But somebody who's throwing explosive devices at the police. Somebody, when I went to the hospital and I met a Homeland Security officer who was there because his buddy had caught a mortar round in the chest and burned right through his uniform. He got third-degree burns all over his torso. Those people are being let go, while Christians and conservatives and anybody who isn't whatever their Hitler-esque idea of a perfect world is being chastised and being hunted.
So this is escalating quickly to murder now, right?
It escalated to murder. And
so what's really the natural next step? You've talked in another video about things sort of sarcastically.
Yeah, well, more people are going to die. If we don't get a handle on this, more people are going to die. If we don't get rid of these Ted Wheelers and these Kate Browns and these city councilwomen Joanne Hardesty who antagonize these people and underhandedly provoke violence on social media.
Okay, and are you saying yourself, or do you recognize that's coming from both sides, or that's just the inevitable? You can make a point of that.
Say that again?
So you say, yeah, there's going to be a lot more deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that a threat?
No, that's just, anybody who's read a history book will tell you that.
Okay.
This is now past the point of civil conversation. Not that anybody on the opposite side really ever seemed to want to engage in a civil conversation in the first place, but people are dying, and when people start dying, people want to protect themselves. The people who are still alive say that, I don't want that to be me.
So you mentioned history doesn't ever naturally just de-escalate on its own at this point?
No.
I agree.
I've never seen it. I've also never seen communism work.
So back to the original shooting, was there anything that inspired or that led up? Was there any confrontation that led up to the shooting?
No, I didn't even know who these guys were. I remember kind of being set off because you turn around and you typically see people in black bloc, and this guy had all white. And it just, I remember that stood out to me, and it took me a second. And then the next thing was 2 shots went off. I don't have any idea who this guy is. I don't think he knew who I was. I don't think he knew, I know he didn't know who Jay was. Jay's always kept his head down. He's always just been mellow.
So did it look like he was attacked because he was the easiest target or the first target? Or?
I think the 2 of us alone, away from the rest of the Trump rally with all the trucks and all the other noise going on, I think they isolated us and they thought he could get away with it.
So it's 50-50 whether you're standing here or Jay today.
Yeah.
So you do believe it was just a random assassination attempt?
Yeah, I think it was planned. I think they were looking for somebody to hurt. I think they were looking for somebody just like us who was down there unprotected, who didn't go and bring guns because we didn't have the intention to kill people.
So, you say he was killed, he was shot and killed.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe where he was shot and how it was?
Yeah, he was shot right in the chest. So, as I said, the shots went off, and I kind of take a second. The guy takes off, and you're processing everything. And I acknowledge I don't have any bullet holes in me. I turn to check on my partner, and he's on the ground. I said his name. I asked him if he was okay. He's non-responsive. I rolled him over. I started looking for a wound to plug up, and I saw a fair bit of blood. Ended up finding a hole right in his chest, right just to the right of his heart. He had no pulse, and at that point, Antifa medics, which some of them, to their credit, really do go out there to try to help people, but they came to intervene and try to effect whatever kind of help they could, and that lasted for all of 8 seconds and a little bit of arguing because I wasn't sure if they were going to try to finish the job or try to kill me. And thankfully the police were right around the corner. They came and separated everybody, and they had EMTs on him, and probably less than a minute. But they blew his heart out. He was probably dead before he hit the ground.
So you asked Donald Trump to send troops. When?
90 days ago.